So today we're talking about the slit experiment. If you know what quantum holism is, it's basically like saying that there's a collective in the quantum space where like all the particles understand each other fully and they embrace each other's attributes and they know exactly where each particle is and what it's doing, how it's moving, and how it interacts with the space around it. There's 4 theories to why the slit experiment happens, okay? The first is that before measurements, the particles exist as probabilities. And when measured, it acts as real. So it does what it's actually supposed to do and just go through the 2 slits normally. The next is that it's multiple worlds we're observing when it's not observed. And it's called the many worlds theory. And when we observe it, we're observing one world in particular instead of viewing all the worlds as a whole. The third theory is the pilot wave theory. In this theory, it basically says that there's pilots and like controlling how the waves interact with things, kind of like how there's a pilot to a plane and how that plane flies. So the way that the electrons are flying or the photons are flying is depicted by a specific pilot. And when we observe the interaction of the quantum particles, we observe a specific pilot out of all the pilots, and we force that pilot to be the only pilot. The fourth and final theory is conscious interpretation or consciousness interpretation, one of the two. And it basically just says that there's a connection linked between reality and consciousness. I'm going to dive deeper into that fourth one. I came up with my own understanding, and I had a really huge thought today about what it might be. So now we're going back to quantum holism. So in quantum holism, we understand that everything's linked together and connected, right? Well, consciousness is too. So maybe when we're conscious about something and we're observing it, our collective consciousness interacts with the quantum holism. So the 2 collectives are interacting with each other, and it breaks the quantum realm because consciousness is stronger. So it breaks it down and makes it bend to reality because our consciousness can't bend to reality. So the quantum has to bend to reality instead of our consciousness. So if we run into something higher than our consciousness could bend into reality. If this made you think, understand, or learn anything new, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a nice comment.